So there is a forest, and from this forest, from one tree that happens to be cut down, there's many sheets of paper, many reams made. A few of those sheets are made to create maps, ironically for the forest, which it was born from. So people buy this map, and for them it's an interface that allows them to observe the features in a simplified version of the forest. Features of where everything's at, where the walking trails are, where the no-go zones are, you know, the best spots to go, the toilets, all that stuff. They look at the map and they use it to figure out how to traverse and how to relate to and understand the forest, which the map describes and represents. Okay? So the forest, after a while, somehow, let's say the forest is a living entity, which it is anyway, but with eyes, alright, and a brain, and ability to do more than just sit there and grow, okay? Stand there. Let's say that the forest somehow pops a gander at this map relating to the forest, describing its features. And it realizes that some of the details on that map that other people have drawn to represent the idea of the forest, the map they've made for the territory, some of the details aren't correct. Okay, some of the details don't actually match up with how the forest defines itself. So the forest starts becoming a bit confused about this. It's like, oh, this map and the way that everybody sees me and thinks about me when they're looking at this thing to know how to understand me is quite different than me. And after a while of brewing on this and becoming very estranged and awkward within its own bark, the forest ends up deciding to cut down its trees, some of its trees, quite a lot of them, make a lot of big changes. It decides to reshape its land so that it matches the classification map of the physical landscape that other people have drawn up in reference to the forest, because the forest, unfortunately, it mistook the fact that the map came from the forest. It's the forest that gives meaning and value and purpose and relevance to the map. The map wouldn't be needed if it wasn't there to relate to the forest. So the map didn't just come from the forest in terms of the paper, but the details, the description, the classification system is only relevant because the forest gave it its relevance. So the forest defines the map. But the forest forgot this. It got confused. And instead of realizing that the map is only there for others to describe features of the forest, not to say that those descriptions and those classification systems are dead accurate. They don't define the forest. They don't decide what the forest actually is. They're just a reference system. But instead of remembering that, the forest got confused and thought, you know what? This map defines who I am. And because I relate so dependently, so conformantly on the map, alright? Because I relate to this classification system which defines me. That's what the forest thought. And now it's just a barren, misshapen land.